Welcome back. So today ended pretty badly. You could say it was quite brutal, but not for Bitcoin. What did I tell you guys? Bitcoin is holding strong. That 82,000 seems to be bottom. Seller exhaustion seems to have kicked in. And as of right now, it's heading back up. 83,000. That is fantastic. This is the best case scenario for Bitcoin. But today, of course, US markets sold off like crazy. Dow ended up negative 1,600. NASDAQ minus 1,000. Today, overall, Wall Street sold off $2 trillion. Negative $2 trillion. The Magnificent Seven, the Mag 7, minus $1 trillion. Let that sink in. $1 trillion gone. Apple itself lost almost 10%. The worst day since COVID. And that's because every Apple product is manufactured in China. And China, all Chinese goods are tariffed 54% now. Just take a second to think about it. So of course, their stock is selling off. And everything is being sold off right now, except Bitcoin. So today was absolutely brutal for US market. And it's probably going to continue until some time. So Asia, tomorrow's Friday, so we'll see. Tonight, Asia will open. They'll probably sell off. Europe will sell off. And then tomorrow, we'll see the US sells off once again, which I think it will. I guess the good news is the White House was asked if there would be any open negotiations to the tariff situation, and they said no. None whatsoever. But Trump, a few hours ago, just said he's willing to negotiate if there's something good on the table. Whatever that means. So, he's opened up, he opened up negotiations, I guess. I don't know, again, if that means anything. But yeah, today was brutal. All around. Companies left and right today reported how much they're going to lose based on the tariffs, left and right. You had so many companies come out, even in the automotive industry. A lot of companies, I heard like Nissan, Stellantis, shut down their plans. Some had factories in Canada, Mexico. They're shutting those down. Others, I heard like Louis Vuitton and many others, luxury brands in Europe. They're all going to be struggling because of the new tariffs. Luxury watchmakers from Switzerland, they're tariffed. They're going to be taxed like 30-something% now. They're going to be hurt. Like everyone is going to be hurt all around, right? That's why today was absolutely brutal. But going back to what I was saying about Bitcoin held. This was the best case scenario. I told you guys, Bitcoin over the last month or so seems to have found a footing right around that 82,000 mark. And I said yesterday, if today, after this, and this morning, if we can hold at that 82,000 mark, even with today's sell-off, that would be absolutely awesome. Even this morning, I created a video. I posted it pretty late. I said, this morning was absolutely brutal already when I posted that video. I'm like, if we can hold it at 82,000, we're golden. Not only did we hold, now we're coming back up. Michael Saylor today said, Bitcoin has no tariff. That's right. That's right. There's no tariff on Bitcoin. A lot of people start asking me, why is Bitcoin going down? Why is Bitcoin affected by all the tariff stuff? It shouldn't be. There should be no correlation at all. But it's because you have a lot of traders. You have a lot of people that are panicked over what's happening with the markets, and they're just selling off everything. They treat Bitcoin not as the best asset to hold, they're treating it as a risk-on asset. So while these traders are selling off all their tech stocks, Magnificent Seven stocks, they're selling off Bitcoin with them. And that's why there's this correlation. But it seems like most of those people are gone. The seller exhaustion is here. That's why we're finding this footing that every morning, while Wall Street is selling off now, yeah, we go down a little bit back to that 82 level. This morning we went to like 81.7, 81.8, but we're holding. And when Wall Street closes, guess what? We start rising back up. We did that yesterday too. After hours, Bitcoin climbed up to like 83, 84,000. This morning, yes, we came back down to like the 81.8, 81.7, but then again, now we're climbing back up. So it does seem like most of the lettuce hands, most of the traders, that includes Wall Street traders, the hedge funds, and just retail investors that can't take it anymore, the ones that are just panic selling that don't understand, they continue to sell off, and they're selling off to the long-term holders like you and I. We continue to DCA, and they're selling off to the Michael Saylors of the world, the new large whales, the public trade companies that are loading up by the billions every quarter. And unfortunately, they're selling also to the big institutions like the BlackRocks of the world, Fidelities of the world, who hold over 5% of the supply now, right? And of course, there are miners now that are raising money to buy more. Not only are they hoarding what they're mining, but they're also raising money to load up too. So obviously, we have a large amount of buying pressure that's offsetting the sell pressure right now. So that's fantastic. But the only problem with this is a lot of the smaller retail investors are transferring their wealth to people they shouldn't be transferring to. The larger institutions and the larger public trade companies, they should be keeping it for themselves, right? But in addition to Bitcoin, even the alts, the big caps, like, I don't know, like XRP, Sol, Sui, ADA, I know they're fluctuating. They're kind of doing this, but overall they're staying within that range. They're not deviating much as Bitcoin is going up and down between this like 84, 82 level. I mean, they're fluctuating, but they're holding. You know, retail investors are still DCing into them as well. There's not a whole lot of new news right now. I know, like, you know, a few little things about stable coins. PayPal added a few crypto into their exchange. You know, not a whole lot of news is going to drive alts up at this point, right? It's all macro focused. But it's really encouraging with the brutality that happened today. It's really, really encouraging that Bitcoin held in the low 80s and didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere. While the Mag 7 sold off $1 trillion today, almost everything went down 7, 8, 9, 10% today. Bitcoin didn't go anywhere. Bitcoin stayed steady. Same level as yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. And if this continues on and we keep building this level and we keep stair-stepping upwards, people will see and understand that Bitcoin is the best asset to hold. It's pure, can't be manipulated. It's unlike anything else out there. And that's why so many continue to accumulate, why so many are actually raising so much debt to buy, because it's the best to hold. All right, that's it, guys. That's all I have to say. Stay strong. Those of you guys that have a lot of stocks, prepare yourself. I think it's going to continue. I don't think this is going to stop. I talk a lot about the 10-year rate. It's dropping like a rock. Today was a huge drop, and it's probably will continue to drop. And we have to wait until May to see if Fed Chair Powell is going to lower the Fed fund rate, which I mentioned this morning. The percentage has definitely increased for May, but it's still kind of low. So we may not see it get cut until June. So strap on and get ready for more brutality. All right, that's it, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.